Interns, Detroit media icon Ryan Ermanni, University of Michigan great Braylon Edwards, and of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network, Woodward Sports.
Hey, let's go. Monday show, July 29, 2024. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button. Hit subscribe. Over 66,000 subscribers on this platform. Braylon out today playing in the Jalen Rose Celebrity Golf outing. Tom Mazaway, we brought him up from that chair to the big chair. How you doing, young man?
Good, Ryan. Good to be with you.
Good to be with you.
I love you. I love being here with you guys, and it's a great sports Monday. I really have not gotten into the Olympics yet, but hopefully I will start getting going.
I got in a big conversation about that. Let me say good afternoon to KG and, of course, Pete Spivak. Fellas, how you guys doing today?
Good, man.
Doing well, Ryan. Hope you're doing well, bro.
Absolutely doing well. Just quickly on the Olympics, and I don't know if it's like hot water, but people didn't like. I tweeted over the weekend, even today on Fox 2 earlier today, I'd mentioned that I'm just not an Olympic guy.
Yeah.
Like there are events that I like in the Olympics, but I'm not like, oh my gosh, the Olympics are on. I can't wait to watch them. It's just, and for a number of different reasons. One, if the Olympics are not in our time zone or in this country or something like that, I just have a hard time with it.
Amen.
Because there's two things you watch live: sports and news. Nobody tapes those things. It's really hard. I mean, I don't want to say nobody because some people do tape sports.
Right.
I cannot watch a football game taped. I cannot watch. Now you.
Wait, the people that tape football games and baseball games are not on social media because they don't want to know what's going on. We can't because we're addicted to these things.
Yeah.
So we have to know what's going on at the moment.
Exactly.
So, I tape games. But if I'm going to watch them live and then maybe go back and watch them again.
Right. Like, I don't even like to pause a live game to go to the bathroom and know that I'm 5 minutes behind.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
If I do that, I don't look at my phone until the commercial.
And then you can forward. Okay. So that's one aspect of it. And two, I mean, Saturday night is a perfect example. Okay. The Olympics are going on. And I'll tell you, you had Tigers Twins, Yankees Red Sox, and Guardians Phillies. Okay, like that's what I was like a madman going between my MLB app and going between my Bally's app, and that's just what I enjoy. I'm
locked on baseball right now. I am absolutely.
And the
locked on it.
final thing about this, from my perspective, and then feel free to weigh in, fellas. I don't understand the Olympics. Like, for instance, Simone Biles, who I think is one of the greatest athletes of our generation.
Legend.
Beyond legend.
Well, gymnastic-wise.
She is one of the greatest athletes to ever walk this earth. I have no idea what she's doing. Like, is this routine for a medal? Is this routine for the team? Is this an individual? Is it a qualifying thing? I don't think the announcers do a good enough job explaining to me what I'm watching because I am a dummy when it comes to, for lack of a better word, Olympic sports.
Let me help you.
Yeah.
In the gymnastics, in swimming, in any of those team sports and individual sports, no matter how many medals Simone gets, whether it's a team event, that counts as a medal for her as well.
Sure, of course.
So, Mark Spitz won, I think back in the day, 7 gold medals. That was like the top of the line. Then came Michael Phelps. And then came all the gymnastics after that. So how hard is it to know? It's easy.
What do you mean?
It's easy. If she's
Are
performing,
they individual or team medals?
It doesn't matter.
Well, she didn't.
They're still going to her.
But she performed the other night. And it wasn't a medal round.
Maybe it was a qualifier.
I know, but I don't know that.
Okay.
What I'm saying is like, oh, it's a great routine. I don't know if she gets a medal after that routine or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in a team game, and even in the individual, there is different rounds. So you add up your points as the rounds go. So I get what you're saying. You would just wish it would be like, All right, here's the medal round now. Simone Biles is up, and by the end of the midnight tonight, we'll know who has medals in this event. That's what you need.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I need an Olympics for Dummies sheet.
Yeah.
And then you go on, it's NBC, it's Peacock, it's CNBC, it's MSNBC,
USA.
it's USA. It's like 4 or 5 different Olympic channels that are added to the Comcast. I don't know. Am I out of bounds here for saying what I'm saying about the Olympics? I want USA to win.
Yeah, not at all. I'm the same exact way. I don't know what the hell's going on, how they score some of these things. Like on Big D Energy today, we were talking about how they're doing breakdancing as an Olympic event now. How are you supposed to score that? How do you judge that?
It's the same as gymnastics. You're going to throw a score on it.
But how do you score gymnastics?
It's boxing. Boxing's the same thing.
Boxing is a little different.
Well, I'm just saying.
I can follow boxing.
It's 3 judges sitting there, and they're like, oh, yeah, I like that. Oh, yeah, I like that. Anytime there's a judge sport, I throw it out.
Yeah, but for the casual, but to Ryan's point, they don't do a good job as the casual fan. They don't do a good job of explaining some of these things, how they score some of these things, and how some of these events are run.
Well, if you land on your feet, that's a good score.
Well,
if you dive in and you're going straight in, that's a good score. The guy that did a backflip and a belly whopper, did you see that?
Yeah. In the pool?
Yeah. Did you see him? That poor bastard.
Gosh.
All right, that was a bad dive. Okay, that's very easy.
Dude, how many like that is
was
like
good.
that poor guy will become a meme for the rest of his life. Like I thought, like one of the things you look at this guy's dive and you say, this sums up my entire gambling career.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Or the presidential race.
This sums up the presidential race. This sums up Joe Biden's first presidential debate.
Exactly. It's all out there, man. But
this sums up Tom Massaways' drinking experiences.
Let me throw this out at you. And I didn't watch the opening ceremonies because I really don't like parades, pageants, anything like that. But they really took a crap. The opening ceremony was abysmal, and it is getting slaughtered through mainstream.
Right.
I mean, it really is. I don't know what they were thinking. They had 7 years to come up with something, and the thing they came up with was a parody of The Last Supper. It was bad.
There will be a discrepancy on that. Obviously, some people believed that The Last Supper was mocked. The Olympics Committee says it was a reenactment of the Greek gods and anti-fighting from the 1600s.
Well, it's not in Athens. This is Paris.
Right. I understand that. So the Greek gods or something like that. So however you want to depict it. And I do believe the official Olympics page took that off of their platforms. The one thing I will say is this, and I thought Pat McAfee actually summed this up beautifully. Anything, whether it was this or that, whatever you do believe, anything that takes away from the athletes competing in the game should not happen.
Correct.
If you are diverting away from these athletes have worked their entire lives to get to where they are, to compete in this game, and anything that takes away from that shouldn't happen.
Right.
Shouldn't happen. And
Absolutely.
I think maybe we can all agree on that. Maybe. Is that fair?
I guess so. And it really doesn't matter.
I thought that was reasonable. I thought that was a reasonable kind of take on the whole thing.
Today at 3 o'clock, which if you're watching us live, will be the U.S. against Japan. The women's basketball team will play at 3 o'clock today, and I guess they'll play it again on prime time tonight. And that's what you're getting at, right? We already know who won, who lost, who did good, who did poorly. It's how many hours ahead are they? 8 hours?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's
Something
like 7
that?
or 8. Yeah.
6 to 8 hours?
Yep.
So I get what you're saying. If I was a stay-at-home dad, I'd be probably locked into the Olympics.
Yeah.
Because this is when it's good.
No doubt.
Right now, I'm watching. It's like watching a soap opera. Daytime TV.
Right.
Put on the Olympics, and let me change the channels when the commercials come up, and find the other Olympic sports. There's some fun sports out there.
Absolutely. So we can get into that a little bit later on in the show. But it was a big day today out in Allen freaking Park, ladies and gentlemen. That's because it was the first day of pads. Over 2,500 fans at Lions training camp in Allen Park today. We're getting some pictures now. MLive Sports tweeted out a couple of pics. It was the first day in pads. This was where it all starts.
Yep.
All the pajamas and underwear and all that stuff goes out the window. It is iron sharpening iron.
Football time.
Absolutely. One of the big pieces of news today, Taylor Decker, 29 years old, signed a $60 million extension, 3 years, a $60 million, a signing bonus as well. He was scheduled to make $13.7 million, but now he's under contract through 2027. Adam Schefter tweeted that out today. Taylor Decker was at the podium today, was very emotional as well. He has seen just about every kind of team that there is here in Detroit.
From what I understand, they've been working on this since last year. And from what I understand, he went up himself a couple days ago, went up to Dan Campbell and said, hey, Coach, where do we stand on this? Because usually the guys just leave it to their agent.
Right.
And they try to focus on the game, on the practice. And Dan got it done, man. And we'll tell you a little bit later about Tua, how that deal got done. Mike McDaniels went to bat for Tua Tagovailoa. Yeah, so a coach helping him and our coach helping Taylor Decker. And I was a little surprised, to be honest with you. I didn't know if they were going to re-sign him, to tell you the truth. But, I'm glad they did. He's one of the best left tackles in the game. Not the best, probably top 5. I would say, maybe top 7 at the worst. And I'm happy that he's here.
He does really, KG, seem to embody what this team is all about. He's been here. He's the longest tenured Lion.
Yeah.
He's been here through thick and thin. He is a warrior. You hear at the end of the season all these injuries that this guy plays with. He's a great locker room guy. He can still get it done on the field. And this team's identity is the offensive line. And now you've got, if you look at it, you've got your 2 tackles, and really that's it. Everything else is up in the air. Kevin Zeitler is on a 1-year deal. Frank Ragnow, regardless of his contract status, he is year to year on whether he wants to keep doing this or not. Graham Glasgow signed in the offseason, but this was a really important signing here today.
No, I think so. And, a lot of people may look at this on the surface and say, it was a bit of an overpay. But to me, having the best combo tackle duo in the NFL is priceless. And you look at this deal, it lines up right with Jared Goff's contract as well. So this just tells you that they are in their Super Bowl window. They know they need to compete, and keeping continuity is the most important thing that the Lions can have right now. So having Taylor Decker, a guy that's been here since the Patricia era and that's dealt with a lot of BS up until this point, finally gets his due, and I think it's well deserved, man. I'm glad he got his money.
Hey, sidebar before we continue, Lions. Jack Flaherty scratched from tonight's start.
Absolutely. We'll
Cleveland
see
is here. We'll see what
traded.
happens. Joel Sherman of the New York Post, not the Porch, the New York Post has reported that.
We'll see if we can get some more information on that. But, Jack Flaherty not going to start for the
I
Tigers
just took him out of my fantasy lineup. It kills me.
Trade deadline is tomorrow. We'll get to that in a little bit. We'll see if we can get more information as the show goes on here. I do want to stick with the Lions, though, in that offensive line. Very important, Maz. You've got Sewell and now Decker signed, but everybody else is up in the air. You had to get this done.
I know. It seems like they had to get it done, but now they've put a lot of money into their future, right? They've locked up most of their future. There's going to be a couple other guys with their hands out. Of course, one of them is Brad Holmes, one of his first drafts on a defensive line, Aleem McNeil. And supposedly that deal will get done. By the way, happy birthday to Brad Holmes. But he did say today that he wants to get a deal done with Aleem McNeil.
Yeah, and Aleem McNeil is next, right?
Yep.
That is going to be the next guy. And then really, if you look at big-time contracts, the next guy to get a big-time contract would probably be Aiden Hutchinson.
There you go.
Right? I mean, you just saw the numbers on your screen between Goff and Amon-Ra and Decker and Sewell. You've got some guys that are, getting to the point now where you make so much money. And look, that's why we believe the time is now.
It is.
For this team and their Super Bowl window to really come to fruition.
But in reality, the time is now and for the next bunch of years.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because they locked their team up, man. Now, we can tell you this as Lion fans.
Absolutely. It's a
long term.
This is year one.
Year one of a long stretch here.
I'd say year 1 of 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can knock it down to that.
Yep.
I'm just going to tell you that Brad Holmes loves his draft picks. They love the guys they bring in. That tells you one thing. Come the trade deadline, we're not going to have our hands out and begging to go get people because the money is spent already. Let's face it. They're not going to have a hell of a lot of money to spend if they want to go out in the free agent market.
No doubt.
That's the way it looks.
That's right. 100% on that. So, again, today, first day in pads, Dan Campbell talked about how this is where the guys make their mark. This is really that separates, and they got some stuff to figure out. I know he came out and said day 1 that the Detroit Lions could come out and play a football game. As it stands right now, they'd be ready to go. But, it's different when the pads come on. Here's what Dan had to say earlier today.
This is where guys begin to separate themselves. You you kind of feel like between spring and the first 4 days, without practice, without pads, you're beginning to put guys where you feel like they belong in that somewhat depth chart, to get you to pads. And so now we're about to find out, is that real or not? And guys are going to separate themselves. We got a number of battles. And so, yeah, this is when it gets exciting. I mean, the staff's giddy. They're all excited. I'm excited. The players I know are going to be excited because this is football. This is the real thing.
This is the real thing. You talk about those position battles, Maz, and you talk about guys that are separating themselves. And I think this is probably the story of the camp so far, and it is how much Jameson Williams has improved over last year and certainly the year prior, his rookie year, when he was just coming off of an injury and working himself back in. You could tell by the way Jared Goff talks about him. You could tell by the way Dan Campbell talks about him. You could tell by the way everybody is talking about Jameson Williams, right?
He's scorching people.
The videos that the Lions are tweeting out. This guy is doing stuff out there that is spectacular.
He's coming into his own, right? This is it, man. You saw what he can do last year in limited time, but you saw 2 touchdowns in the NFC Championship game. The first one on, of course, like the end around. He can do more than just catch the ball. And he has said publicly, listen, man, I want to be special. I want to do more than just catch the ball. He's a blocker. Remember that block he threw for St. Brown?
Yep.
I forgot what game it was, but there was a couple of them.
Like there was one in the Raider game I specifically remember.
There was a couple of them.
Yeah.
The kid is a hustler right now. And you know what? He's mild-mannered. He is polite. He's not a showboat.
He's 23.
Yeah, he's a kid, man. He is a kid. And, man, if it's sky's the limit for this team. If this guy becomes receiver 1, 1A, or 2.
And it doesn't even feel, KG, like he is if he becomes wide receiver 2. He is wide receiver 2. And the only question is, will he be wide receiver 1A?
Right. And that's what you hope he becomes, because that's why they moved up to get him in the first round, pick 12, man, all those years ago. But I was one of those people. I was never super critical of J-Mo. I understand that he may have not been perfect. Of course, the gambling suspension, that was kind of, a little iffy and things like that. But him going to the hood and paying for, water and the fireworks thing, that was never really a big deal to me. But it does seem like he kind of has mentally matured. He looks like a different player out there. He looks stronger. Looks like he put on a little muscle. And he is a man on a mission, and he is determined to prove everything that the Lions thought about him right, man. And I'm just so excited for what this actually could look like once they target him more.
We played some sound the other day from Amon-Ra's dad, John Brown, former Mr. Universe. And he's like, if there's one guy that could be a bodybuilder on this team that's got the muscle, that's got lean muscle, it's Jameson Williams. And if that kid does bulk up, and he's got it, because you're going to take a beating out there. Justin Jefferson, he has grown over the years. You watch him in receiver, you fall in love with that guy, and people are going to fall in love with this kid too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was one of those guys that was critical of J-Mo. I probably not as much as you, Maz, but at the same time, I will say that, to be fair, I was one of those guys critical of J-Mo. And the criticism really was.
You had to stick me and say that I was
Well, no,
more critical than you. Just joking.
I'm not trying to come down on you because
You're not the only one.
But I'm not trying to come down on you because I do believe it was valid.
Yeah.
It's valid criticism because I think for me, and I'll speak for myself, you're just taking a cue from the head coach. You know,
Correct.
Dan Campbell wears his hat on his sleeve, wears his emotion on his sleeve. That's what I'm trying to say. He wears like
And his hat.
you don't have to guess how Dan Campbell feels about a player.
Yes.
The way he talks about that player, you're going to know a lot about how he feels. And Jameson Williams was not a guy that Dan Campbell spoke highly of.
Didn't go out of his way to say much about it.
I mean, he said what he had to say.
Yeah. He's coming along. I think he's working. He's doing this. He's doing that.
He'll never be a receiver.
Right.
You remember he said he will never have.
He doesn't
good
have the hands right now. Blah blah.
Exactly,
blah.
but it's
completely different.
It's just
now.
how he talked about Jameson Williams led me to have my feelings about him. And I'll tell you this much too. I think it's just human nature, football player or not. If you take something away from somebody, you learn to live without that thing.
That's facts.
And football has been taken away from Jameson Williams for almost a year and a half. One from an injury, and the other due to a
Suspension.
albeit a bogus suspension, in my opinion.
It was.
But
Absolutely it was.
Nonetheless, it was taken away from him. So you really have to have that that desire to pull that back, to find that love for the sport again when it's been taken away from you. And he did. To his credit, he has done that. And I applaud Jameson Williams for putting the work in, for being that player that everybody believes that he is, and including Dan Campbell. Here's what Dan Campbell had to say about Jameson Williams today.
This is the most confident that I've seen him since he's been here. And, you know, he came in with the right mindset, you know, when we started this offseason, and that has not waned one bit. You know, he's in a good place, and he's taking the coaching. He's trying to work on it. He's improving, and he's making plays. So so we like where he's at mentally, you know, and emotionally. You know, the only thing I would say is everybody's got to keep their head, you know. There's going to be, the tempers get going, and there's emotion to it, and there's, and you can feel the energy building, but you still got to be able to, keep your head about you and make sure that you're ready for the next play. That's all. So I love the energy we got at practice right now.
First of all, how about the T-shirt?
Yeah.
Anti-fragile.
They come up with a new one every day almost.
I love it.
They come up with a new one every day, man. They know how to market there in Allen Park.
And he looks so good, dude. Let's be honest. If a fat guy rolled out there with anti-fragile, probably doesn't work.
AKA Matt Patricia.
And a little coat.
You know what I mean?
Nobody wears a T-shirt like Dan Campbell.
Nobody wears a T-shirt like Dan Campbell. You know what I mean? I couldn't go out there rocking an anti-fragile T-shirt. That thing's great. You know?
I tried to put nothing near my stomach.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Just keep it up in the corners and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Don't look at me, please.
Exactly. But again, you talk about the way Dan Campbell talks about Jameson Williams. You know, this guy is one of, if not the story of camp.
He's
so
all
far.
in now, man.
Yeah.
He is all in. And who's his coach again? Who's the wide receiver coach?
Antoine Randall.
Antoine Randall has got himself a weapon, a major weapon. This guy is coming to play, man. And him and St. Brown, man.
It's about to be nasty.
Laporta, what are you kidding?
Gibbs in the backfield?
Oh, come on, man.
That's unguardable.
It really, truly is. Who are you going to guard on this team?
Ghostbusters.
Who are you going to guard? Nobody. There's nobody. And now they're talking about. I heard about the receivers like Donovan Peoples-Jones. Who's going to be the number 3 guy? Donovan Peoples-Jones, Khalif Raymond. They got a couple other guys. Maurice Alexander.
Doris Fountain.
A couple other guys. You know what? I heard that DPJ's really did not have a good start so far to the off-season workouts and the first week of camp. So who knows, man? And they signed him to a 1-year deal. They gave him some money. You don't know who's going to be here, man, when it comes down to when it comes down to cut-down day. There's going to be a lot of good players left out there for the NFL people off this team.
No doubt.
Back in the day, it was like, who'd you cut?
Right.
Who? Now it's going to be like, oh, my God, you cut him? How can they let go of him?
And they're going to get picked up by other teams.
Absolutely.
There was a wide receiver today that was getting a lot of love from Dan Campbell, and that was Doris Fountain.
Oh, Doris Fountain.
Doris Fountain from Northern Iowa, 28 years old, 5th round pick back in 2018. So again, you're right. There's going to be some players out there that might surprise you, and I don't know anything about Doris Fountain other than
Great name.
Dan Campbell talked about him today, and he's a 5th round pick from 2018, still in the league. Still in the league, still fighting. Played in 2020 for Indianapolis, 2021 for the Kansas City Chiefs.
And who's the kid they got from the Jets last year?
I don't know what happened in the other 2 years. But
help me out, because Zonovan, was it Zonovan
Knight?
Night.
Zonovan Knight. I haven't heard much about him.
That's
but
the running back, I thought.
yeah, I don't know. Hope he can make the team.
Right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of good players on this team.
There are a lot of good
I can't wait to
players.
get going. Thursday is the opening night already.
And again, that's just kind of where we are as a franchise. By the way, Amon-Ra St. Brown, okay? Do you guys watch receiver? Have you continued
haven't
on with
finished it yet.
receiver?
I watched
I got
So-
one more to go.
I was a little shocked. Now, look, I love Amon-Ra St. Brown. I love Amon-Ra St. Brown. But one of the reasons why I loved Amon-Ra St. Brown is because he's just a workhorse, right? He just goes out there and he works. There was a scene where he had two balls thrown his way, and he was
He was heated.
I mean,
Yeah.
he was.
I never saw that side, part of him either.
I never saw that
Give me the
side
damn
of him.
ball. What
Right.
the hell are you doing? He's walking off the field.
Yes, I never saw that side of him. Great, totally fine with it. I was just surprised because I had never seen that
I'm with you.
in him before.
We usually see Justin Jefferson,
Right.
Devontae Adams.
Right.
Those guys get pissed. Not our guy.
CeeDee Lamb,
Yeah,
you
CeeDee
know what I
Lamb.
mean?
Throw me the ball, man.
Right.
You're gonna see that with the Giants, Malik Neighbors.
Right.
This guy is gonna whine like you would not believe.
But he already told the coaches before they drafted him that he would.
Yes, he did.
Right?
He's gonna make OBJ look like a solid
Right.
citizen.
But there's another guy, right? You don't get the ball,
Yeah.
and that's where a lot of these guys get their prima donna.
Yeah. That's these
the,
receivers.
The wide receiver position in
Yeah.
and of itself is the prima donnas out there wanting the ball, getting the
Hey,
ball.
the
This,
guy
that,
I'm
the other
sitting in
thing.
here for.
Right.
He's one of them.
Right.
Come
No
on,
doubt.
man.
But that's why you're great too,
Yep.
right? I mean, that's what makes you great.
But here's
Is
another
your
thing.
need, your want, your absolute necessity to get the football in your hands. I love it.
Watching receiver, the guy I feel sorry for the most is Devontae Adams.
Yes.
And I know he's rich, beautiful family.
Yes,
the
I feel
whole
terrible
works.
for him.
I feel terrible, yes. The guy's playing, he plays so beat up,
Mm-hmm.
and he continues to go out there. But the routes he runs every play, he's open almost every play.
Yeah.
He's hustling,
The-
but they can't get him the ball.
The Lions game was the
They
best.
can't get him the ball.
Yeah.
He's wide open by 15 yards
Yeah.
in that Lions game. Garoppolo overthrew him.
Then if he gets it, he's getting cracked because it's placed in a bad spot.
Exactly.
It's horrible.
And he's got the two words. He's got Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell
Yeah.
throwing to him as
And-
I wear the Raiders shirt.
And how
today.
about Brian Hoyer? Brian Hoyer, the one time going up to him in the red zone, and Devontae was like, "Look, dude, it's not your fault. This has
Yeah.
nothing to do with you. This has nothing to do with you." But it's a great show. Just back on track here. I never saw that side of Amon-Ra, and to be honest with you, I'm glad it's in there.
Yep.
I'm glad it's in there.
You think he went to Goff after that and said, "Man, I'm open, Jared. Get me the ball."
I don't
Probably.
think he had to.
What are you looking at?
right, for real.
I don't think he had to. Guys, we're going to take a break. We're going to continue on with Detroit Lions training camp. Next, another guy on the other side of the ball that is turning heads. He was a first-round pick, and he is absolutely turning heads now. We'll talk about Jack Campbell next and how he can help this football team, how he can impact that defense. But first, a message from the Boys and Girls Club of Southeast Michigan.
Who's got that one, Kenny?
Not me.
It wasn't me. You didn't give it to me.
All right.
All right.
All right. Well, we'll go Planet Fitness it is. Planet Fitness right now, where your fitness is essential. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment and friendly and knowledgeable staff with a judgment-free atmosphere. Right now, visit planetfitness.com and you can find over 50 Metro Detroit locations. Again, head to planetfitness.com. We will be right back.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Hamp for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola, really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody!
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
Oh, let me just say, I love Planet Fitness.
Trying out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Listen, the PF Black Card is worth every penny for this hydro massage. I'm a new man.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
All the benefits, all for less. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
The Ally Challenge presented by McLaren is back August 22nd through 25th at Warwick Hills and Grand Blanc. Be there for PGA Tour Champions Golf, Family Night, concerts, and more. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours at allychallenge.com today.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Join the best youth sports football league in Metro Detroit. The Boys and Girls Club of Southeastern Michigan's 3C Sports League offers youth ages 5 to 14 with 6 exciting teams to choose from in Detroit, Belleville, Highland Park, and East Point. All coaches are trained, certified, and undergo background checks. Register for football or cheer at bgcsm.org. Equipment and meals and transportation included, all for a chance to play for a championship at Ford Field for just $175 per child. Put the youth back in youth sports with BGCSM 3C Sports.
All right. Dreaming of a new home but feeling a financial pinch? Mark White and Associates, your trusted real estate experts, have got you back. They're here to help you. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000, guys. Call Mark White and Associates today, 248-290-8242, or visit them online at markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White today, 248-290-8242, to make your dreams come true.
And let me tell you about Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Awesome is where a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Stop in, sit back, relax. Let one of Lady Jane's talented stylists make you look and feel great. You can walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, 7 days a week. Lady Jane, it's wicked awesome. I got to get the wicked awesome in there. Absolutely. Welcome back. Ermanni and Edwards, Woodward Sports Network. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, I should say. Sorry about that, Maz. Heaven forbid. Braylon in the Jalen Rose golf outing today, and Maz is up in the big seat with us. KG, Pete Spivak here as well.
Reiterate my hate for golf.
Yeah, that's right. Maz hates golf in the summer, no doubt about it.
Nice. Hey, D-Mac sent us a video earlier today. I don't know what golf course he was on, but it was in a torrential downpour.
Can't believe they were
He's
on the
making a
course.
birdie putt. and he's in standing water.
Oh, my God.
He hits it as hard as he could, and it goes about 4 inches.
I can't believe he was even able to be on the course.
You don't care. He's going to be on there. You know that.
Some Tigers news if you're just tuning in. Jack Flaherty scratched from his start tonight. He was scheduled to take the mound for the Tigers against the Cleveland Guardians at Comerica Park. He has been scratched. No word on any trade as of yet.
Keep him.
But it appears that will be the case. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. I wanted to move to the other side of the football for the Detroit Lions as training camp continues out in Allen Park. Week 2 of camp out there. And they had 2,500 fans today. First day of full pads. And one of the guys that's been turning some heads is Jack Campbell, a first-round pick from a year ago. And
Iowa.
This is a guy that I think, Maz, really a lot of eyebrows were raised when they selected him 17th overall. And he was the guy that I think, if you look at the production of draft picks last year from the guys that really played, his was
the least.
His wasn't going to wow you. Right? Like Jahmyr Gibbs wowed you. Brian Branch wowed you.
Laporta
wowed you. Jack Campbell did not wow you. But as the season went on, he began playing more and more and more and more. And some quiet production, but he was doing his job. I think this is a player this year that is about to have a breakout year. He was at the podium and talked about how he loves it here in Detroit.
Detroit's honestly probably like my favorite city out of all 32 teams. I haven't been to many other ones, but I mean, I'm up here just in the off seasons, just enjoying my time. It's quiet up here. The people are just kind as can be, always put each other first. I would say, I mean, I feel like this word gets thrown around a lot, but it is a gritty city. They got a lot of people out here who are busting their ass every single day to support everyone at home. And like for me, like coming from Iowa, like that's all we knew, just strap up and just provide for your family, honestly. And while you're doing that, put other people before yourself, keep God first, and just always remember where you came from. So I feel like that's the mentality that I've had. That's the mentality the city has, so I felt like it's a perfect mesh. And I got places to hunt fish out here, so it's all good.
This guy's a Dan Campbell guy.
Yeah, no doubt.
From the get-go. When they interviewed him, he wowed him, you know, and he's a big linebacker. And I remember Braylon got so mad on draft night, basically walked off the set.
Basically.
But, yeah, he did. But he's like, that's not how you play football anymore. That's not how the linebackers are in the NFL anymore. You don't get those big guys anymore. You can't move, blah, blah, blah. This guy is going to be – he's going to be worth his pick. I got
100%.
I got a great feeling on this kid. This kid reminds me of like a Chris Spielman type guy, a guy that's going to get down and dirty, play through injuries, be a pain in your neck the entire 60 minutes that he's in there. I'm looking forward to see him grow this season, and I think he will. I really do. I believe that defense is going to be way different than it's been in the past. I mean, Aaron Glenn has used duct tape and crazy glue to keep this thing together. He got a lot better over the season. You get Terrell Williams now in as almost an assistant head coach, now coaching the defensive line and the running backs. That's Dan Campbell's guy. I'm really looking forward to seeing what this defense can do, because if this defense can just be half as good as the offense, there's no one that's going to beat this team.
Super Bowl.
And KG, you know, you look at the depth chart when you look at these linebackers too. Alex Anzalone in the middle. His play over the last couple of years speaks for itself. Derek Barnes, who has Dan Campbell was even talking about him earlier today. He said the first year they were there, he was a pup guy. He was a physically unable to perform guy, and kind of worked his way into having all this playing time and making an impact. And of course, had the interception in the divisional round last year against the I believe Tampa Bay Bucks. I think that was the game I'm thinking of. And then Jack Campbell. So your three linebackers, Anzalone, Barnes, and Campbell. This guy is scheduled to have a big year.
Yeah, and you look at how they develop linebackers. Alex Anzalone, he was somebody that we wasn't writing home about.
Worried if he was going to make the team in year 2.
Exactly. And then when they re-signed him, it was kind of like a question mark. Like, they really believe in this guy to hold down the position? And so far, they've been proven right. Alex Anzalone has been an absolute beast. You look at Derek Barnes. Like you said, he was a pup guy at first, man. But slowly but surely, they started getting him more reps. He starts getting more involved, and he makes one of the most important plays in Detroit sports history, man, with that interception. And then you look at Jack Campbell, and to your point, Ryan, I say it all the time, because you had rookies like Jahmyr Gibbs and like a Sam Laporta, you kind of overlook what Jack Campbell did his rookie year, but on the surface, it wasn't that bad. He almost had a 100-tackle season as a rookie. That's not bad at all, and I expect him to improve upon that, especially with all the new personnel added. DJ Reader, he's already a beast stopping the run. His main issue is defending the pass. I feel like he will get better in that department, but shout out to the Lions for just developing this linebacker room from something that we thought was a weakness on this team is definitely a strength now.
Hey, Derek Barnes has been getting a bunch of scraps. Have you heard about that?
Yeah.
I mean, and this guy is like apologizing at the end. He's like, but I'm going, this is my year. He said, I'm not taking any crap from anybody, even if it's my own teammate. And he's running through people. He's a wrecking. He's an Italian wrecking machine. I watched Rocky 2 last night.
So good.
By the way.
So good.
My wife comes out. She's like, she just shakes her head at me. I've already started Rocky 3 again. So to get back to the Lions, that linebacker room, man. When Kelvin Shepard, remember on Hard Knocks, he went to that room and he's like, I don't know about any of you guys, Anzalone's fine. Remember he let him go?
Yeah.
Anzalone, you're in. And we were like, whoa, Anzalone's in.
And Anzalone even said,
Yes. Whoa.
You're right.
He pressed, man.
He was the most shocked one.
He was.
Yeah.
But Kelvin Shepard they love this guy. This coaching staff it's beyond reproach, man. I wouldn't want any other coaching staff.
No.
I love what they have done with this. This team is just built so beautifully from the ground up, man. And that linebacker core, I'm looking forward to seeing them have a great year this year.
So, I mean, at every level of that defense, too, they got better. Obviously, with Reader and Davenport.
Did you hear Reader said he might not be ready for game 1?
Well,
yeah.
You know what?
I
mean, I think, just speaking of that, I think the amount of players, if you gave me a percentage on the amount of players that were going to be available for 17 games, I'll tell you it's out of 22 starters,
15?
4 will play 17 games.
That's about right.
4. It's
not easy.
It's a long, grueling season. And I hope one of those 4 is Jared Goff. Unless they don't need him to play in the last game of the year.
Exactly.
Right?
That would be fun.
You take that into account as well. So much competition for spots. And when the team gets pads on, this is where that competition, really kind of shakes out. Obviously, the defensive backfield is
all done.
New. They've got so much talent back there. If you took 4 of the 8 guys, you could have like 2 different sets of starters.
Yeah.
I mean, think about this for a second, okay? Carlton Davis, Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, Terrion Arnold, Amik Robertson, Ennis Rakestraw, Kindle Vildor, who was a starter in the NFC Championship game, so don't raise your eyebrow at
I like him.
Kindle Vildor, Ifatu Melifanu, and Emmanuel Mosley. There's like 10 guys there. You want to talk about somebody that's getting cut?
Yeah.
Who's getting cut in that group?
I hope nobody.
Hopefully nobody.
Yeah.
Then even guys like Khalil Dorsey, Stephen Gilmore, not Stefan,
right?
But Stephen Gilmore, who
Stefan's still out there,
right? He is. But I mean, there's some really big names back there, guys that can play. Want to play for you? This is from earlier today. Dan Campbell talking about the safety competition because there's a lot of guys on that back end that can play.
We really feel like the safety position could be really good for Branch. We certainly know he can play nickel, but it's one of those, man. Is that the best thing for him and for us? Now we sort this whole thing out, and if he is doing what he's doing and he's continuing to grow and and we don't have a nickel that comes to the forefront, well, it could very easily be, well, if he's your safety and then Branch is back to nickel. So we have a lot of moving parts here. But right now it really is, you know, when Branch gets back and is ready to go, which he's in a good place, he's coming. His rehab is going well. He's out there and walk through. And you're talking about a competition between those two at the safety position.
I'm not even going to sit here and pretend to tell you that I know the different matchups that are, you know, optimal for the Detroit Lions back there. Here's what I am saying. I feel fully confident in these players and this coaching staff to find definitely the best 5, perhaps 6 defensive backs to stick out there on the field at any one time.
Yeah.
As far as any defense in the National Football League go, this back end as a whole, I'm not talking about, you know, having one superstar on the back end or anything like that. I'm just talking about as a whole, as a group. I find it hard-pressed to find a team where I would say I want that room over this room.
Right.
This room is so deep and so talented and so good.
These guys are going to be fighting for their lives to stay on this team.
Yeah.
They're going to be hustling. And this is a team that last year when they signed CD Deuce, when they signed him, when they got him, I'm like, man, we are so in. And then he goes down in game number 2, doesn't come back to the end of the season. Then they let him go. It's not even. It's night and day from that. From that, it's night and day. I don't think there's a weakness on this team, and I'm going to say I think the defensive secondary is probably the best part of that defense right now.
Potentially,
yeah, hands down.
Yeah, no, and you know when you look at the way defensive backs are officiated, you know it's hard to pay that one defensive back, you know, $20 million because it's such an offensive league now.
You got a flag almost.
You know,
every
3rd
play.
and 15, flag up, 5-yard penalty, illegal hands to the face.
Hate that.
4th and 12, flag, illegal penalty, contact within 5. You know, after 5 yards.
About those penalties.
You know,
those penalties should not be automatic first down.
No,
by
they
the way.
should not.
No, they should not.
Those type of penalties, hands to the face,
Right.
illegal hit inside of 5. That's horse crap.
Yeah.
You want to do 5 yards?
5 yards,
All right,
fine.
5
Yep.
yards. That
Right.
should not be an automatic first down, and I guarantee you they will change that going forward.
kind of like a defensive offside,
Yes.
you know, like a 3rd and 6.
Yeah.
A defensive offsides is not an automatic
No.
first down. It's just 3rd
It's a
and 1 at that point.
No 5-yard penalty
Right.
should be an automatic first down.
Yeah.
The officiating is an interesting part of defense too because everything is geared towards the offense. So a lot of these guys, you know, you can't touch a quarterback if you're a defensive lineman. You can't touch a wide receiver if you're on the back end, cornerback, DB, safety. How do you play defense? I mean, these guys are about as efficient back there as possible. I wanted to get to this. Dan Campbell talking about the first week of camp. Obviously, as we now are in week 2, it was back to football weekend.
Yep.
And I was glued. You know, Braylon was at Jets camp this weekend.
Yep.
And they were going back to Florham Park. And NFL Network did an incredible job this weekend. Of bouncing back and forth to all the different camps. They were in Allen Park, Florham Park, Miami, everywhere.
We had Tom Pelissero here.
Yeah.
Danny Rogers helped out as well.
Absolutely. The individual teams reporter helped.
Yep.
In whatever city they were in. So here's Dan Campbell on with Tom Pelissero, first week of Detroit Lions camp on the NFL Network.
What are you seeing so far out here? Listen, I'm really pleased with where we're at right now. I think for us, I know the first 4 days I think are pivotal. You know, it's acclimation, but man, we try to press it as far as we can without getting guys hurt. You know, the soft tissue and so I think there's a fine balance, and I feel like we got it again. You know, we found that balance. We got really good work, good reps, but we were smart about it, and here we go, man. We just finished day 4 of really a really good 4 days.
Coach, day 4 included a little bit of talk between defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn and receiver Jameson Williams. They were really chomping at the bit going at it.
Yeah.
How has Jamo really come into his own in year 3?
Well, look, he's more mature. You know, he's more mature, and look, he banked some good reps last year, and so to have that, man, he came back. You know, I mentioned this. I mentioned this in the spring. He really came back refreshed, on point, focused, and he's just continued now. So he's a more mature guy. He's bought in, and he's putting in the work. And because of that, man, he's just continuing to get better and better.
So in this offseason, everybody gets new contracts. Goff, Amon-Ra, you. At any point here when the expectations start to elevate beyond any level they've been in the past, do you have to pop people's egos? Do you have to kind of check people and make sure they're keeping the main thing?
Well, I believe that if there's something that you're concerned about that's on your mind, man, you hit it head on, right? You don't hide from it. You don't, you don't just, bury your head in the sand and hope that everything will be okay. So I think that's a point of emphasis for us, because honestly, I feel like, and the team feels like, our own worst enemy is ourselves. Can be ourselves, will be ourselves. As long as we put in the work, go back and do all the little things, detail the urgency, the hunger, man, we'll be just fine. And that's what I've seen out of this team, But it's a reason why we've drafted the guys we have. It's a reason why we signed the free agents we have, why we traded for the guys we have, because we believe they fit what we're about. And collectively, that's what they're doing right now.
Our own worst enemy could be themselves, would be themselves. They have everything that they need to win a Super Bowl.
Yep.
And it is incumbent upon them now to put the work in, to not be satisfied with where they have been, to not look around and live off last year's success and last year's season, because this is a new year, obviously, and it is up to the Lions. And through a week and a day anyway, it appears that the head coach's personality, his persona, is rubbing off on the players. Pause.
Yeah, no doubt about that, man. Remember last week what he said, and he compared what they're going through now to when he was a New York Giant and they went to the Super Bowl and got their butts kicked. Came back the next year and took some days off and no pads, no shells this day, and have a victory Monday. And they won 4 freaking games that year. That can't happen to a team with this much talent. This team is different than that Giant team. They didn't have a quarterback yet. All right? They got a quarterback here now. They've got everything set. They don't have Dan Campbell at tight end. They've got Sam Laporta at tight end. This team will not be denied this year. The only thing that will slow them down is the same thing that slows every NFL team down, and that's injuries. They got a first-place schedule. They got to play it. You don't know. Right, we say it every year. 3 teams in that tough schedule will be dogs.
Right.
3 teams that you thought were easy will be, oh, wow, they've come to play this year. Every year there's new teams that make the NFL playoffs. So the Lions, I'm not even worried about their schedule. I worry about one game, and it's beating the Rams on week 1.
100%.
That's all I give a damn about.
No doubt. And look, you know, a team that could be a dog this year that was good last year is Tampa Bay. A team that was a dog last year that could be really good this year is Arizona. 3rd game of the year at Arizona. You know, stuff like it just changes every single year. At Houston, I mean, they do have a tough schedule.
Yep.
I
want to tell Pete. Yeah. I've got something around the NFL, and it tells you which one of these last place teams do you think will make the playoffs. If you can get that graphic,
because there will
just throw it up there.
There will be one team. I think it's been something like 20 consecutive years or somewhere around there, 18 years, 22 years.
There you go.
Where a last place team has made the playoffs the following year. And I think obviously the first one that jumps off the page at you in that is the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah.
The second one, I think, would be the LA Chargers.
Yeah.
The third one would be the Washington football team. And then the fourth would be the Chicago Bears.
Yes.
Yeah. And
look at those teams.
And you didn't even mention the Arizona I didn't even mention the Arizona Cardinals. So there's 5 teams right there that I think have a legitimate shot at making the postseason.
Amen. Honestly, it's going to happen. Out of those 8 teams, there'll be at least one of them that make the playoffs. Maybe two.
To be honest,
I'd probably lean towards 2.
Yeah,
maybe 3. If you think Jim Harbaugh could really get the Chargers
that's
going.
a tough division, though.
It is. You know, AFC is a dogfight.
Even if you go one in the AFC and one in the NFC, you're choosing. You're obviously choosing the Bengals probably.
Bengals, Bears,
and then
Bengals, Commanders.
But there you go. But I'm saying you've got Commanders and Bears going back and forth. One of those teams potentially will be making the postseason, and I look at the Lions team, and among the players, we talk about Jack Campbell. Which player is going to go from year 1 to year 2 and make this significant leap? I even put J-Mo in there, right? Because J-Mo wasn't even around in the
year 1 didn't
rookie.
count.
It didn't count for him. Last year was his first year, essentially, to me. So, I mean, you're talking about a leap here. Jameson Williams, year 1 to year 2, even though it's technically year 2 to year 3. What about Sam Laporta, year 1 to year 2? Jahmyr Gibbs, year 1 to year 2. Brian Branch, year 1 to year 2. Jack Campbell, year 1 to year 2. Those players were great last year as rookies.
Yeah.
How good will they be this year? Right. I think it's scary how good the Detroit Lions could be this year. And you're not even talking about Penei Sewell. You're not even talking about Aiden Hutchinson. You're not even talking about a healthy DJ Reader. You're not even talking about this competition at DB that, Amik Robertson, Carlton Davis Jr., or Carlton Davis III, I should say. You're not even talking about the competition there. What about Terrion Arnold and Ennis Rakestraw?
It's unreal, man. The talent is here. The talent is here. The coaching is here. Everything is here. Everything is in front of them. They're top 3 team in the NFL. That's it. Yeah. That's a mic drop. Top 3 team in the NFL.
And honestly, there's not, to me, as it stands right now, and I know it's really early, there's not a team in the NFC that I think, no matter where you play them, where I would think in my mind, tough one, can't win there. Can't beat that team. Got to go to Philly. Got to go to Philly in January. Can't beat that team. I wouldn't say that. Got to go to Frisco. Got to go to San Francisco out west. Got to go play in the NFC Championship game out there. Nope. Can't beat that. Can't win there. I wouldn't say that.
How about this? They go out to San Francisco, the second to the last week of the year?
Yeah, I think
or
week
third
16.
Week 16. And then just a few weeks later is the Super Bowl in that same exact stadium.
Well, actually, the Super Bowl is in New Orleans this year.
Oh, I thought it was in San Francisco.
In New Orleans this year.
I think my bad.
Yeah, in New Orleans on Fox. I do believe it's in Santa Clara maybe next year, year after.
What a homecoming that would be. Dan Campbell returns to New Orleans.
Wow.
That's right.
So that was a great
for the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl 59, man.
Yeah.
Imagine that Mardi Gras.
How about the Lions Broncos?
Oh God.
Super Bowl in New Orleans with Sean Payton.
Oh my God.
They like Bo Nix out there.
Dan Campbell,
He's the best
Sean
coach
Payton.
of all time. He gets Bo Nix.
I'll give you a 2 million to 1 odds on that Super Bowl.
Man, I can't do it. I'd love to, but I can't do it. I'd love to. Guys, we'll take a break. But hey, before we do, where were you 25 years ago today?
I know where I was.
Where were you?
I was on the air.
Do we have this Sports Center cut? I'm going to play this for you.
First Jordan, then Gretzky, then Elway, now this, which, unlike the others, was completely unexpected.
Only one average Sanders season away from breaking the NFL's all-time rushing record, the 31-year-old today announced he is retiring from pro football after 10 seasons. The game's most elusive running back has his reasons, and apparently making more money is not among them. Desire to exit the game is greater than my desire to remain in it. I have searched my heart through and through and feel comfortable with this decision. I leave on good terms with everyone in the organization. I am not involved in a salary dispute of any kind. If I had played this season, I would have earned a more than satisfactory salary.
I expected him to be here, but, that's his decision, and all we could do is move on from there.
A few of us were in the locker room earlier, and it was kind of a shock type of thing where you break up with the girlfriend or something, and then you just can't believe anything. Maybe in a couple of weeks we'll work things out, and that's what I may be overly optimistic, but hopefully he'll come back in a couple of weeks after he misses football for a little while.
Oh, mama.
That's something. Where were you?
I was on the air at WJR with Steve Courtney and Dan Dickerson, Sports Wrap. We were on from 6:30 to 1 o'clock in the morning. And we broke that story. I know people on DFN will say they broke it. I know for a fact we broke it. And we called down at Saginaw Valley, and we woke some of these guys up, and we told them the story. We had them on the air. I think I had Mike Compton on that night. It was a shocker, an absolute shocker.
I was an intern at Fox 2, 1999.
Early days.
Yep, I was an intern. That's my where I started.
Our phone lines were like burning off.
Yeah.
Burning. People were cursing him. What do you do? How do you do this?
Yeah.
Bobby Ross, how could you do this? People were blaming Bobby Ross. Bobby Ross, man, he had one of his best seasons under Bobby Ross, but he did not like what Bobby Ross and that whole team, that whole coaching staff was putting out there. He just was sick and tired of the losing. He was sick and tired of losing guys like Kevin Glover. You saw the special that he had.
They were going to blow the team.
Yeah, they weren't. They weren't keeping the guys that meant a lot to him. And here you are, Barry. He was not a Lion for a long time after that, right? And now he's back in the family, as is Calvin Johnson. Yeah. All things are mended, but that was something, man. But Bobby Ross called him 100 times, wrote him handwritten letters. And nothing. He would not answer him.
Barry.
Hey, Barry, where are you, Barry?
Hey, Barry.
I don't coach that
we
stuff.
really need you, Barry.
I don't coach that stuff.
Really need you, Barry.
Oh, my.
I think Greg Hill took over running back. Wasn't that who took over
I think
Greg
so.
Hill?
Put it this way.
It was the three-headed running back system.
Corey Schlesinger,
Greg Hill, and Ron Rivers.
Ron Rivers, that's right. And they won the first game, I think, that following year.
Yeah, they won. They won. That's right. They won that game.
Bobby Ross came in here as the most decorated coach. A Super Bowl coach with the Chargers, coached at the Army, was a military man, Barry. And he left here a babbling idiot. Yeah. he might as well have checked into a mental institute when he left this place.
That's what the Lions will do to you, man.
Great stuff.
Remember that Dolphin game?
Absolutely.
I don't coach that stuff.
Guys, you're going to take a break. Some Tigers news. Also, some news regarding the Michigan Wolverines and the alleged sign stealing. We'll get you the latest there. But first, a message from Dr. Pierce.
All right, Doc. We're going to see him on Thursday. You know that. Do not miss our expert, our sports injury insider with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join him every Tuesday on Big D Energy. He joins us right here on Thursdays. Trust the guy, D-Mac and Braylon Trust. Dr. Jeff Pierce, here to keep you in the game, performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsAndSpine.com. Call them as well, 248-426-9944. And you want to head on over to Premier Pet Supply, Michigan's best pet store, family-owned and operated for over 30 years. 13 Metro Detroit locations, and, of course, 60 brands of food, over 60 brands of food at the lowest prices available. Curbside delivery if you need it, and nutritionists on call for any question about your beloved pet. Had to take Jeter to the vet today. He's good. All right, trust your pet. Give him the best. It's PremierPetSupply.com.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Ham for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
The Ally Challenge presented by McLaren is back August 22nd through 25th at Warwick Hills and Grand Blanc. Be there for PGA Tour Champions Golf, Family Night, concerts, and more. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours at allychallenge.com today.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Yo, let me just say, I love Planet Fitness.
Trying out Planet Fitness, and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Listen, the PF Black Card is worth every penny for this hydro massage. I'm a new man.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
All the benefits, all for less. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
The Ally Challenge presented by McLaren is back August 22nd through 25th at Warwick Hills and Grand Blanc. Be there for PGA Tour Champions Golf, Family Night, concerts, and more. Tickets start at just $15. Get yours at allychallenge.com today.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza is taken all over Michigan, known for their quality hand-battered, hand-breaded chicken tenders, sandwiches, and New York-style pizza. Locations are popping up all over Metro Detroit, doubling the number of restaurants this year. Soroki's just had the grand opening in Madison Heights, and don't forget about those biscuits, folks. They are to die for. So be sure to stop in and try a mega station near you, or go to www.sorokis.com.
And Ryan?
And now let me tell you about... Go ahead, Pete. There you go. Les Stanford, Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. They offer the same great service that customers have come to know and trust. Located in Ferndale on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. And, of course, if you're looking for a Chevy or a Cadillac, Les Stanford in Dearborn, where they have been on Michigan Avenue for over 55 years. You can find the brand you want under one umbrella. LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com. Together, let's drive. Major League Baseball trade deadline day coming
tomorrow at 6.
And I'll tell you, the one of the teams that is making some headway here is the Chicago White Sox. They're shipping out everybody.
Fire sale.
Fire sale,
not
absolutely.
everybody. Hopefully they'll keep Lewis Robert, and hopefully they'll keep Gavin Crochet. I hope.
Well, they traded today Cardinals, White Sox, Dodgers in a 3-team deal. Michael Kopech and Tommy Edman to Los Angeles. Yep. Eric Fetty and Tommy Pham out to St. Louis. White Sox got Miguel Vargas and a haul of prospects in return. So that is how it's being characterized on ESPN.com. One name that has not been traded yet, but he was pulled today from his scheduled start is Jack Flaherty, Maz. Yep. I know, we go back and forth all the time, and the Skubal thing, Baltimore made a trade over the weekend, and they got I forgot who they got from.
Zach Elfin.
From the Rays. Yeah. Exactly. Now he's a start. He's not a top.
No, he's not a
top of the rotation
guy. He's a 3-4 guy.
He's a guy that's going to help him at some point. But is that out there? John Morosi tweeted today that the Tigers and Orioles are discussing a potential deal, but nothing was even remotely finalized or remotely close to anything being done, but they were talking.
Morosi does say 50% chance that Skubal does get dealt.
I did not see that.
Yep, that was 50%. About an hour ago.
Really?
He puts it at 50% chance. So it's a 50-50 opportunity that he gets traded. And the only team he trade with is the Orioles.
Is Baltimore.
I could have told you that, 50-50.
That's it.
Especially at this point.
Kenny broke that as well.
Especially 50-50. At this point where the Dodgers just shipped off a couple of prospects to the White Sox. And nothing on Flaherty yet. Nothing on Flaherty, but he was pulled today. What does that tell you? I mean, for as much as we hoped that this second half would mean a run for the Tigers, it's
not.
It's not. Let's just call it. I'm not even going to say it's unlikely. It's just not.
They're not going to win this year.
No. Yeah.
But they could prepare themselves to win next year and going forward. So here's my take, guys. 10 years ago was the end of the Tiger dynasty. And I say dynasty. It was a 10-year, 8-year dynasty. They didn't win a World Series, but they went to 2 of them. But the last team that they played was the Orioles. And they swept them. The Orioles swept the Tigers, and then the fire sale began. the dismantling began, when Al Avila took over, and the rest is history. Here we are, 10 years now it's been, and the Orioles are perking now, and the Tigers are not. So why not come full circle? The Orioles eliminated us in 2014 and sent us to hell, baseball hell. Why not revive us in 2024 with 3 of the best prospects in baseball and give them Tarek Skubal and give them an opportunity to win their World Series? I don't understand why they would not trade for him. What are you holding on to, guys? Orioles, what are you holding on to? You already have one of the youngest teams in baseball that are perking.
MVP candidate in Gunnar Henderson.
I mean, you've got guys all over that diamond. What do you need more prospects for? You get a Cy Young lefty to put you over the top. They would be so short-sighted. And even though it don't sound right, they'd be short-sighted to not take Tarek Skubal and trade Jackson Holliday and others to the Tigers. It helps both teams. Hell, I don't want to make a deal in the American League. I'd rather not. I don't want to send my top guy to the Orioles. But you know what? If they could give me 3 players that I could insert into my lineup
every day,
every single day, you've got to do it. And I would have done that deal, and I would hold on to Flaherty and sign it. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So tomorrow by 6 o'clock, Tuesday, 6 o'clock is the deadline. We're going to find out who the ball players are and who the guys are that just got bluffed out of the game. Because if the Orioles don't do it, they've been bluffed out of the game. They will not win the World Series.
You know, a couple of people in the chat, talking about signing Flaherty. Just go sign Flaherty. Just go sign Skubal. And even Kirk Gibson, right, when he joined us a couple of weeks ago, he said, I would right now go sign Flaherty and Skubal to an extension. The only problem with that, and Maz, I think you were first on that. No agent in their right mind is going to sign an extension right now.
Yeah. Right.
Jack Flaherty is as hot as he will ever be. You think he's going to sign an extension with the Tigers before hitting the market?
No, sir.
Tarek Skubal's agent is Scott Boras.
Yeah.
You think Scott Boras is going to sign a long-term deal with the Detroit Tigers 2 years ahead of hitting the market?
Not at all.
There's not a chance. There's not a chance of that happening. Unless you did something crazy like a $400, $500, $600 million deal.
He's going to get $400 million.
Juan Soto's going to get $600 million.
Correct.
From the Yankees.
And he earns it.
And he does earn it. But this is the type of money that we're talking about now. And nobody in their right mind is signing that kind of contract before you're up. You're going to hit the market.
I'll tell you a deal that they should have did. They should have went out and got Isak Paredes again. Isak Paredes has eluded us now twice.
It's with the Cubs.
Went to the Cubs, right?
Yeah, went to the Cubs.
Cubs started him.
Paredes?
The Cubs signed him. They sent him to us with, what's his name, Jeimer Candelaria.
Yep.
And then we jettisoned him for Austin Meadows. And he becomes
25 years old. Isak Paredes is 25.
Yeah, he's an all-star, Ryan.
35.
Yeah. Ryan, he plays first, second, and third base. He even plays the outfield position when they need him. He's a designated hitter. He is a hitter. The son of a gun can hit. And you know what? He goes to a last-place team in the Cubs. Cubs, why? Because the Cubs are like, you know what? We're not going to win this year, but we're gonna have a hitter now in our lineup that's going to help us in the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Why the hell don't you go out and get that guy? Javi Baez sits down. There's your shortstop. The guy you had comes back to your life.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. There's a lot of things this year that leave me scratching my head. And like, what don't we know about the capabilities of Scott Harris or the handcuffs that are on Scott Harris?
Well, he made a good deal yesterday with the Rangers. He did.
It was solid.
He traded
Carson Kelly.
Carson Kelly
for 2 AA
at his
guys.
peak.
Yep.
At his peak, you weren't going to get more for Carson Kelly than you got now. But 2 good minor leaguers that are playing really good baseball right now, already in AA ball.
Yeah.
And the Rangers get themselves a catcher that they can depend on because the guy's having a good year. And you know what? They brought up Dylan Dingler, a guy that's been killing it in AAA. So now we'll find out if we have a catcher. And Pete, I know you're a big baseball guy like me. We go back and forth. We play against each other in fantasy. What's your take on what the Tigers are doing?
With Skubal and how they're holding on to him? Because I think they are going to hold on to him. It's a dominant left-handed pitcher, but I think that the point that was made was Terry Foster on Big D Energy, which you can hear 11-1 here on Woodward Sports. He made the point last week. Starting pitching isn't what it used to be, guys. It's, these pitchers are only in for, 6 innings at a time, and sometimes now with no hitters, they're being taken out.
Speaking
6
of
7
that,
innings. And my whole point is, what's more valuable to you? A guy batting 4 times, playing all 9 innings, 6 days a week, or a pitcher 2 times a week, 12 innings total.
Speaking of that, who was the guy that threw the no-hitter the other day? Was it Cease?
Yeah, Dylan Cease.
Dylan Cease.
Apparently, Dylan Cease had to, I don't want to say beg his manager, but had to tell his manager that he was going out for the 9th inning.
Oh, wow.
Because Cease had 96 pitches.
Oh, God.
And the manager wanted to pull him.
Yeah.
And Cease was like, there's no way I'm going back out there. But to Pete's point, that is what we're talking about right now.
It's the new way.
This is the new world that we're living in.
Yeah.
Where a starting pitcher has to ask with 96 pitches to go back to finish a no-hitter. That is ridiculous. You're not talking about a Johan Santana where he had like 130 pitches.
Right.
He had 96 pitches.
They scared of that injury.
Look what they did with Skeens. Beautiful. 7 beautiful innings.
I can understand. Skeens, we've seen it with Strasburg. It's his first year. He's not even been in the majors an entire. He's not even on the roster opening day.
He goes tonight, by the way.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. But again, yeah, man, I can't imagine. You have completely flipped the way that I look at Skubal.
Yeah.
And I do think, a bunch of people in the chat, too, are talking about how 50-50 isn't a lot. Even you, KG, talked about how 50-50 isn't a lot. I do think 50-50 is a lot because you're talking about a guy who is the best pitcher in the American League, who, if you do believe you're within striking distance of a postseason berth, I do think you keep that player. And I think the fact that the Tigers are even being active in having conversations about trading Tarek Skubal leads me to believe that they don't believe they're as close as we think they may be.
Yeah.
I think that is the only reason you trade a guy like Tarek Skubal.
Remember, you hit the jackpot with him. He's not your first overall pick like Torkelson was, like Mize was. This is a 9th round pick that you hit the jackpot on. He was your Tom Brady for the Patriots. 6th round, and they got the GOAT. They lucked out. I'm not saying Skubal's the GOAT yet, but he is having a phenomenal year. Phenomenal year. And if he had anybody, if he had any hitting behind him, poor Jack Flaherty has got 7 wins. He should have 11, 12 wins.
Talk to Reese Olson about that.
Reese Olson. Yeah. Now he's down, man. It's a bullpen game tonight now against the Indians.
It's
against the Tribe.
Brisky's getting a start, yeah.
It's over, guys.
Yeah.
All right?
It's
this season, it's over.
It's a wrap.
So
Sell
you could
what you
say
can.
sell. You could say buy. To me, if they trade Skubal, to me, that's a buy. That means they're buyers. If they keep Skubal, that means they're sellers. Does that make sense to you?
It makes perfect sense.
I don't understand why you would not make that deal. And who knows? Maybe the Orioles are telling them, sorry, we're not giving you Jackson Holiday.
That's the point, though, too. That's the point, though, too. If the Orioles, if it's a non-starter with the Orioles,
then say
goodbye. Then you
goodbye.
keep them.
Yeah.
Right? You're not hanging on to any conversation that doesn't involve Jackson Holiday. I'm sorry. If you want to go win a World Series, you got to give me Jackson Holiday. You want to go win a World Series with my guy? You want to go into Yankee Stadium and face Soto, Judge, and Stanton with the guys you got now? Go for it.
Period.
You take your chances with those. You take your chances with Zach Elfin instead of Tarek Skubal.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yankee Stadium. How about a Game 5 at Yankee Stadium?
And they trot Skubal out.
Yeah. Bottom of the 8th inning in a tie game. And you got Soto, Judge, and Stanton. go through that gauntlet.
And Scooble's like, give me the ball. I'm going out again. Right?
That's what happens. That's what happens when you have – this is the close – Tarek Skubal is the closest thing to Justin Verlander.
Correct.
Forget about the Tigers that baseball has seen since Justin Verlander.
He's up there.
Yeah.
He's up there.
And he's a left-hander, which makes it even more of a story.
It's more valuable.
Wow.
Oh, man.
And he's that dominant as a left-hander.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to get rid of Tarek Skubal. I'm just trying to,
it's the reality.
Put in perspective, if you can get a guy to play for you every single day, if you can get 2 guys to play for you every single day, heaven forbid, if you can get 3 guys to play for you every single day, as opposed to 1 guy going every 5th day, maybe 7 innings, maybe 7 innings. And yesterday, right, Skubal gives up 2 in the first. Was it yesterday or Saturday? I don't remember.
It's Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday. Gives up 2 in the first, then shuts them down until, that's great. It's great. But my goodness.
Lots of trades are going to happen between now and 6 o'clock on Tuesday. And the Dodgers supposedly have their hands out. They want Flaherty. Remember last year, they wanted Eduardo Rodriguez from us.
Yep.
And what happened? Right. Rodriguez screwed us.
He did.
We were going to get,
God,
from what I understand, Gavin Lux was going to be over here.
Yep.
Infielder Gavin Lux. Now, Colt Keith plays second, so does Lux. I'm not sure if Lux can play shortstop.
They can.
He can play. He played for the Dodgers.
Then, you know what? If you want Flaherty, give me Lux.
Yeah.
Give me Lux. And give me one of your minor leaguers.
I'm cool with that.
Minor league pitcher.
When he first came up with the Dodgers, he was supposed to be a shortstop.
This guy was supposed to be the it guy, and he never really has gotten going. He's had a few good games this year. He's having a decent season, but I would not mind seeing that kid over here trying to recreate the career that he was supposed to have.
That's why Corey Seager went bye-bye over there in the LA.
Yeah.
Hey, you know who got traded again today?
Who?
Michael Lorenzen.
I know.
Damn.
I mean, if you like Michael Lorenzen, Tigers, Phillies.
Then he signs
Rangers. Now Royals.
Royals want to win.
And to be honest with you, I don't know if he was anywhere before.
Before us? Yeah. He was.
Yeah.
Cardinals, I think.
He's a
He's a vagabond.
He's a journeyman.
Unbelievable.
But he had that no-hitter last year with Philly on his first game back. First start. And he never really got it back going after that. But he's a good arm to have. And the Royals, man, they were the most active team in the AL Central over the winter. They just slapped this team together, and they have Bobby Witt Jr.
Yeah.
Bobby Witt Jr. is the straw that serves that
Incredible.
drink.
Yeah.
Guys, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll go around the NFL. We'll do that next. But first, a message from Guardian Alarm.
What do you do when you see that black and yellow sign outside? Stay out. That's right. Customized solutions from real expert Guardian Alarm. They are professional technicians. Take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. 24/7 professional monitoring. Call us anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. Technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserve technology that's been proven to work, and people have been proven to care. So call 1-800.
Stay out.
That's right, call 1-800.
Stay out.
Stay out. But don't stay out of.
Wake Up Woodward, the best damn morning show on the airwaves. You can't tell me no different. Every day, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m., live on Woodward Sports. You can join Kool-Aid, Flannel Sam, Broder, JB, and myself every morning as we cover all of Detroit sports talk, banter, and live fan interaction, all on Detroit's #1 sports network. Y'all know what it is by now, Woodward Sports.
Congratulations to the real coach of the year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supplies has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody! The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Yo, let me just say, I love Planet Fitness.
Trying out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Listen, the PF Black Card is worth every penny for this hydro massage. I'm a new man.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
All the benefits, all for less. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
To any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
How would you like to play the University of Michigan golf courts with Braylon Edwards? It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. Register today, and you can round off a foursome, at woodwardsports.com or scan the QR code on the screen. When it comes to your next car or truck, make the wise decision. Randy Wise Automotive. And if you're like Maz and you have a 1984 Raider shirt on, it's time for you to get some new sports merch. So why not go to Woodward Sports for that type of merch? Why not go to woodwardsports.com, click shop, get you some new merch, man. Hoodies, tees, hats, everything guaranteed to turn heads. Get the latest designs today, but only if you go to woodwardsports.com and click that shop tab.
Well done. Great job. That was one of the best reads
1980,
of all time.
not 84.
That's
It's
right.
an 80.
Oh, 80, excuse
It's an
me.
80.
Right.
I go to Jim Plunkett days.
I was 4 years off. I'm sorry.
Clifford Branch.
Right.
Kenny Stabler. Plunkett.
My
Raiders.
Man. What do you say? Go,
Dragon fan Tim is Flaherty to the Diamondbacks for Drew Jones.
Hold on, let's see.
Wait, what?
What?
No way.
My,
To the Diamondbacks?
My Twitter's not.
No,
let's see.
that's just a suggestion.
Is that a suggestion? Yeah, I don't see that anywhere.
That's a suggestion.
Why the Diamond? Yeah.
Just a suggestion.
The Diamondbacks wouldn't even.
Rule number 1, intern James.
You got masked.
Before you read anything from the New York porch, just make sure that
don't break any news.
Don't break any news until you see it in a verifiable source.
Make sure there's at least a couple of million followers on that.
Yeah, Bass can take that advice.
Right?
Not 110.
I
love it. All good though.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's hustling.
Absolutely. Guys,
He's trying.
Let's go around the NFL. We get any
Let's do
baseball
it.
news, we are going to get you dialed in on that.
You got it,
Tom
man.
Masway, what do we got?
Okay, over the weekend, you knew it was going to happen. That Jordan Love will become the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. Just the day before him, Tua Tagovailoa. Both of these guys got paid. Look at that new list now, guys, of the highest paid QBs. Jared Goff drops down to 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th highest paid quarterback in the league. And next up, you know who it is. It's Dakota Rain from the Dallas Cowboys.
60 mil?
Dak Prescott.
You think he's getting the 60?
He's next up.
Nobody's won a Super Bowl on that list?
Nobody.
It's right. Nobody has won
It's
one.
hope. It's all hope.
Isn't that something?
Yeah. And Jared Goff's done more than a lot of people on this list.
So Goff, Burrow, and Hurts have been to the Super Bowl. 3 have been. None have won. The 10 highest paid quarterbacks in the league.
And add Dak to that because he's going to be up there.
So the 11
Correct.
highest paid quarterbacks in the league
I've not sniffed it.
have not even sniffed it. And in fact, one of the things a lot of people now are talking about Patrick Mahomes, right? These quarterbacks are getting crazy deals. Patrick Mahomes got, $45 million a year?
And we thought that was unbelievable.
And we thought that was an incredible thing. Patrick Mahomes says, I think it's awesome for the game of football. It's awesome for the quarterback positions, but I think for all positions, I know every time a contract comes up, everybody looks at my average per year, my APY, and everything like that. I'm doing pretty well myself. For me, it's just about going out there and trying to win football games, trying to make money for my family at the end of the day. I feel like I'm doing a great job of that, Patrick Mahomes said. I think we do a great job of managing my money to be able to pay me a lot of money and to keep a good team around me. I know we've kind of restructured it a couple of times and got the cash flow up in certain spots and in certain years. It's about having a good dialogue, good communication in the front office, and good ownership. It's about having a plan. I think I'm doing pretty okay.
As a part owner of the Kansas City Royals as well. My buddy was at the game on Friday night, went to Kansas City, and what did they give out? Patrick Mahomes bobbleheads at the Kansas City Royals game. So, he's doing pretty damn good. And I think he owns a soccer team, him and his wife.
His wife does.
As well, So they do pretty well. They're expecting their third child. They are the perfect family. They are the perfect family.
Mahomes, though, Brady got a lot of credit for doing this in New England. And I think it's time that Patrick Mahomes gets a little bit of credit for doing this in Kansas City. And that is taking less to have a good team around you.
Yeah.
You don't hear Patrick Mahomes. In fact, I just told you what he said. But you don't hear Patrick Mahomes at any point saying, Jared Goff gets $55 million, I got to get 60.
Yeah.
You don't hear any one of those quarterbacks that signed a deal. Tua gets paid. I need the escalator clause where I need one. Like Nick Saban had that escalator clause. If a college coach made more money than Nick Saban got like $1 more than he did.
Yeah.
Wow.
Listen, the quarterback position will have its own salary cap.
I believe that as well.
The way it's going.
By next year, it's got its own thing because they are their own thing.
Yeah.
They are it. You don't have a quarterback, you're not winning the Super Bowl. I know, you're going to give me Rex Grossman, all of those guys that got there. Believe me, I know. Jeff Hostetler won Super Bowl 25 for the Giants. I go back and forth. You don't have a quarterback, you don't have a chance to win in this league. You have a 90% chance of winning when you have a great quarterback.
And that is where, as evidenced by that, Maz, that's where why this money is getting shelled out.
Right.
Because you have to have a quarterback, number one, KG. And number two, if you don't have a quarterback, you are going to be bad for many, many years.
No.
And
facts.
even teams that have those quarterbacks, look how bad some of those teams are. The Jaguars, the Chargers, the Cowboys.
Throw in the Browns.
Right.
Yep.
Deshaun Watson.
When Cleveland paid Deshaun Watson $200 million or $212 or whatever it was.
They gave it all to him.
With suspension.
Yeah, right. With the suspension looming. It's a great point, Pete. It just says exactly, where they were.
How about the class of 2020, the quarterbacks? Do you know what these guys are making?
How much?
Over $1.07 billion.
Wow.
Is what they are worth, Ryan. $1.007 billion.
Incredible, man.
All those quarterbacks
Look at those
haven't
guys.
won.
I count one Super Bowl there.
Kind of leads you to believe, too, that, just where my mind goes, the dollar means nothing.
No.
Yeah.
Like our dollar is so overvalued
Yep.
that That's why you're talking about $400 million, $600 million,
Shohei, $750 million.
And the media rights contracts keep rising as well.
Like,
so, yeah.
It just tells you the dollar.
I'm not
is
even
just-
affected anymore by these numbers.
Yeah.
Like,
We're
if
immune to them.
If Dak Prescott gets, $60 million a year for like 4 years, 5 years, I'd be like, oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Good for him, I guess.
Tom, what was Joe DiMaggio's big deal? What was it, $600,000?
I don't even know
I
what
think
it is.
I think it was
he got paid more to be Mr. Coffee.
Exactly.
Than he did to play
That's what
baseball. Unbelievable, man.
I mean, it
Now,
is
listen,
wild.
Now, so Tua was the first one to break the bank on last weekend.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right before Jordan Love. So Tua Tagovailoa, I told you the story earlier. He heard that his coach, Mike McDaniels, went to bat for him with the owner. Check it out.
Yeah. What does that say about Mike and his relationship with you?
Well, I think it says a lot. Word gets around quick, and I don't think he knows that I know, but I've been told from several birdies that are, here in the facility that are upstairs as well, that he went to bat for me the day that I went out and practiced 11 on 11, 7 on 7, before we went on that little break, that he went to bat for me with, our owner. And, I won't go into details of things that I heard were said, but just know, like, he is what he says. He says what he told me, and he did what I was thinking he would do for me, and not just for me, but for any other player. So I'm very grateful for that.
When you were
That's pretty good, man, to have that kind of relationship. And Braylon tells the story. When Mike McDaniels got hired, he's on the plane, the team plane. First guy he calls is Tua to say, you're my guy. You're the guy I want to build this team around. And they have a great relationship. And Tua has he's blossomed over the last couple of years. This is a guy that I think a lot of us wanted the Lions to draft.
Yeah, that was the
when
guy.
they drafted Okudah.
Yep.
We wanted that. But in desperation, Patricia and Numbnuts went after Okudah instead.
Yeah.
So I'm happy for the guy. Fragile. Remember that scene in Cincinnati a couple of seasons ago?
Yeah.
When he got hit and he had a seizure on the field. It was so scary. But he's done so much to protect himself. He's taken judo lessons to learn how to fall, to learn how to protect himself. And I think it's a great thing that he got paid. I'm happy for the guy. He's a winner.
Yeah.
The guy's a winner.
Goes to
Except
show
in the
you,
playoffs.
yeah, no doubt, KG. It goes to show you as well that, Mike McDaniel believes in him, because if there's ever a situation where you're really not sold on the quarterback and this is your easy way out where they didn't want to spend the money on you, hands off, he could have easily let Tua walk after this year or not get a contract done, but he believes in him, and it kind of is reminiscent to me of Brad Holmes believing in Jared Goff.
Yep.
I mean, if Brad Holmes didn't believe in Jared Goff, he'd have cut him, he'd have traded him, he would have done something.
Yeah.
But these guys, they see something, and they just stick with him.
I'll tell you this, man. Here's another guy, another coach that's supposed to be, he's his favorite for Coach of the Year. His name is Matt Eberflus in Chicago. So yesterday they're doing these drills, and Montez Sweat went a little too far and hit Caleb Williams. So Eberflus called him off and said, you're out for the rest of the practice. Here's Matt Eberflus.
Really? I didn't see
Yeah.
this.
Past couple of days, looks like the past couple of days, Montez might have gotten a piece of Caleb Williams. Are you guys trying to simulate a little bit more pressure for him to feel that, or are those maybe overzealous moments?
No, he knows he should not do that. I threw him out of the drill today, and then I pulled him aside, and I said, look, you cannot do that. You'll be sick if something happens, okay? And that's what I told him, and he understands that. And does he get around there fast and all that stuff? Yeah, he does. But he also he's a superior elite athlete. He's good enough to be able to stop and move away. So he's got to be disciplined that way, and he will in the future.
Not that.
How about it, huh?
How hard did he hit him?
Montez Sweat. Doesn't matter. He touched him.
That
red jersey he's on, you don't touch that guy.
Man, a lot of those guys have one speed, man. One speed.
So that just tells you what kind of player Montez Sweat is.
Yeah.
That would have been a guy I would love to have had here, but he went to the enemy. So
get Caleb ready for the league, man. He's gonna be taking a lot of hits this year. So,
but again, just to your point about something you said in the first hour, you're not getting guys like that because you're paying your own players.
Correct.
You're not paying anybody
Not here.
like a Montez
Not in
Sweat.
Detroit.
You don't have to, though. I don't think.
As long as you draft properly.
Absolutely.
And you bring them up right.
And I think one of the things about this team is they do like to pay guys that they know, that they're around all, their entire careers. Those are the guys that get paid. Just that simple.
Hey, Mike Florio reported yesterday. This is something I really hate in sports. It's the reporter's in-game interview with the head coach.
I hate this too.
I hate it in baseball. I hate it in hockey. And a lot of those are pre-taped. But I hate it in football more than anything.
Yeah.
And now the NFL is requiring each team to have their coach for the first half and the second half talk to the on-field reporter live on television.
That's ridiculous.
I don't understand what the...
It does nothing.
Yeah.
No, you get no insight, number one.
Right.
And number two, you're literally just actively making the coaches mad.
Yeah.
You're actively making your sideline reporters look dumb.
In harm's way.
Yeah.
You put them in harm's way. It's nerve-wracking.
You're kind of almost waiting for and hoping for a viral moment. Maybe that's the only way you do it.
You know who's happy? Probably Bill Belichick. I'm glad I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Can you imagine interviewing
Wouldn't that
guy?
be something?
What's he going to say?
Yeah.
He'll say like one word.
Right.
We're losing. We have to run the ball.
I don't like it. It's just it's part of the game that they think we like, but I don't like it. I don't even like when ESPN mics up players, to be honest with you.
I do like that.
I don't like it.
I do like that. I do like that.
Anyway.
Hey, let's sit tight. Let's take a break. We'll come back, Tom, and we will do a little bit more NFL. We'll dip back into the baseball, get you the latest on that. All that and more coming up. But first, a message from Swiss.
Yes. That's right. Now more than ever, it's critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Swiss Insurance will make sure your carrier is not slipping in any extra fees. So make sure to call Mark at Swiss Insurance today at 313-530-1698. That's right, 313-530-1698. SwissINS.com. SwissINS.com.
And the Ally Challenge presented by McLaren.
Wave to the camera.
The Ally Challenge is back August 22nd through the 25th at Warwick Hills. Leave the golf to the pros and don't miss the party at Hole 17. We all know it go down at Hole 17. $2 birdie beers, concerts, and more. Get your tickets at allychallenge.com.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking, and the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of. And guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody!
Yo, let me just say, I love Planet Fitness.
Trying out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Listen, the PF Black Card is worth every penny for this hydro massage. I'm a new man.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
All the benefits, all for less. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Hey, gang, let me tell you about KDK Law. Dealing with divorce, child custody, visitation, or other family law issues. Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham will have your back. 10-plus years of experience, 24/7 availability. Scan the QR code on your screen right now or give this number a call, 248-971-0476. Even if you don't need it today, you might need it tomorrow. You never know. Keep this number in your phone, 248-971-0476. Say Woodward Sports sent you, and KDK will pay your filing fee. KDK Law, they've got your back.
Oh, yeah.
Nick says on the chat, we are seeing some cracks in TV deals. Look at Bally's. Look at streaming is disrupting things. People won't pay $20 to get the app to watch the Tigers, so people are just not watching. How about this, though? Did you see the latest developments a couple of days ago?
I did.
Yeah.
Bally's, Diamond Sports, and Comcast coming close to an agreement. With
Xfinity, with Bally's, which is great.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I still don't understand that because they're going bankrupt. So,
well, it's part of a restructuring in bankruptcy court. Part of a restructuring, and the NBA and NHL got involved. So,
once they're going to have their games off the air, then everyone is stepping up and saying,
"No doubt,
we got to take care of this, even if we got to give some money back to keep this place going,
right.
to keep this place." It's only a matter of time before Illich and Gores have their own.
They need to.
But they have their own TV. I don't know how they don't have it already. I don't know how they don't have their own television network already.
Yeah.
The Red Wings and the Tigers and the Pistons.
They're late to the party. That's why they are late to the party. It's just that simple.
How about Michigan today? They got caught a little.
Well, we'll find out tomorrow. Chris Ballas put this out there. John Henschke was on this as well a little while ago. Michigan reporters out there breaking some news to us anyway that apparently the NCAA is ready to issue a notice of allegations against Michigan football over the alleged sign stealing. U of M preparing for a fight. We'll see what that happens.
What do you think they're going to do?
I don't know. I'm not going to speculate what it could be. They do not put out penalties in a notice of allegations, I don't believe. Notice of allegations is just,
I guess,
level 1, level 2, level, how egregious of a violation is this? I'm really looking forward to The Untold on Netflix. Connor Stallions.
If they do it right.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah. Netflix pretty good about
Connor Stallions, to me, from what I know about Connor Stallions, is that he is loves Michigan. And he did this to try to help Michigan. And I think he is as honest a guy as if Jim Harbaugh did something wrong, I think he would say. If Jim Harbaugh didn't do something wrong, I think he would say.
The CMU game was the one that really threw me. When he looked like Bobby Valentine, Bobby Valentine got thrown out of the game, came back with a mustache and glasses.
Yeah. Look, I could be totally naive about this stuff. I don't think I am. I think he was a lone wolf.
Yeah.
I think he wanted to elevate up the ranks so much at Michigan. What's the Liam Neeson movie? Taken.
Yeah.
He was the guy.
Taken 3, Taken 4.
Taken 1.
I know. Joking.
I have a particular set of skills,
Mm-hmm.
and this is how I'm going to get in with you. I can steal signs. Stealing signs is not illegal. It's why coaches talk like this to their quarterbacks.
Yeah.
It's why coaches, you talk to the sidelines. You can't read your lips.
Mm-hmm.
Stealing signs happens. I think this guy said, I can steal signs. And Michigan said, great. What do you got? I don't believe Michigan knew how he was stealing the signs.
Yeah. Didn't they have evidence that they had paid for some of his trips? And
they never paid for anything.
And didn't he have a visa, a Michigan visa? Hey, look, I'm a Michigan guy. Like I said, even if he was doing that,
we'll find out.
I will say this: we've already known that Greg Schiano and Ryan Day were in bed together with Purdue. Remember? They had Michigan's game plan on paper. And they were like, okay, let's sit down and go over this. Let's sit down and go over this with Iowa, for the Big Ten championship. Let's go over this. That's a lot more damning to me than some guy sitting in the stands with binoculars stealing signs. So they all do it. Michigan just did it a different way, and they got caught, supposedly. We'll see. Like
yeah, I mean, again,
everyone does it.
I'll reserve judgment. Yeah. I'll reserve judgment. Okay. Absolutely.
That's good.
Hey, Maz, you were at the game the other day. Why don't you take on this?
I was.
Were the two kids got taken out in handcuffs?
They had to be 12
you
and 10 years old.
see this video? Do we have the video?
I don't think so. No.
12 and 10 years old. We could probably find it.
I can find it for you.
Find it. Anyway, everyone has seen it. And everyone, of course, claps for the kids as they run around. The security's falling on their butts. They make them look bad. But literally, two young kids run on the field on Friday night.
And they had to have been like under 13 years old.
Oh, easy.
Yeah.
Easy. One looked like 12 or 13. The other one looked like 10.
Easy question. Where's the parents?
Where are the parents? So they take these kids out and they cuff them. Now, from what I understand from going to games my entire life, if you read your ticket, it simply states, if you run on the field, you're banned.
Yeah.
And I mean you're banned from life. Now, I never understood how they could catch you.
Right.
What do they do? Have a wanted sign for you on every stadium?
Maybe your name is like on a ticket thing. I don't know.
So if I was there and I was a little, as a father, I laugh, first of all.
Of course.
But as a father, I'm like, where the hell are the parents? My kids would never do that. Never. And I wish I was there when the security told them, hey, kids, I hope you had a good time tonight because it's your last Tigers home game.
Yeah.
From what I understand, they're not allowed back in the stadium. Now, they're going to grow up and grow older and look different. I don't know how it works. But from what I understand is, if you do that,
Pete Rose,
you are out.
There it is.
Here they are.
Man, they went from
the third base side and ran in.
I don't know. This technology getting good. They might be able to figure out who it is, man.
There's even better video than that. That's even up close.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the one where they're walking.
Are they coming all the way over here, though?
Aisle.
Oh, no, that stops, I guess.
Anyway, they take them out in cuffs. Did they go too far?
Yes.
I don't know. I think it was a good embarrassment thing for those kids.
How's the crowds? How have the crowds been at Comerica Park?
The crowds have been pretty good. Friday, I thought would have 30,000. They didn't. Saturday, they had 35,000.
Really?
For a Hawaiian shirt night. Yesterday, I'm not sure what they had. I kind of took the day off yesterday. Didn't watch that bullpen game.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. The crowds are decent, but they're going to start waning now that they're out of it. I mean, once these trades take place, it's over.
I love all the MSU people in the chat.
They losing.
That's not what happened. I'm telling you, like my honest to God belief, and I may be wrong about this, but my honest to God belief is that Connor Stalions wanted to elevate himself at Michigan.
Yeah,
he wanted to be noticed at Michigan and go up through the ranks, and said, "I can steal signs. This is my skill." Okay, great, go ahead. And I don't think anybody at Michigan. Anybody that mattered at Michigan, anybody that mattered at Michigan, I don't think they knew how he was doing it.
Okay.
Like, just for the plausible deniability of things. Even like how many times, like, Maz, I don't care how you get this guest, get him for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I don't care how you do it.
By any means.
I don't want to know about it. Get him for me.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Don't want to know. La, 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 la.
Right.
Don't want to know about it.
I don't know. I think that's a long shot, but
that's just my belief.
Okay.
Like I said, I could be wrong. We'll find out because I think you're going to have a pretty accurate description on August 27th.
Yeah,
I think Connor Stalions.
That's the Netflix stuff.
That's the Netflix Untold Connor Stalions. I think that's what's going to happen.
Can't wait.
Hey, before we get out of here, the Team USA women playing Japan. Did we have a final score on this?
Oh, Maz, you watched that, right?
No, it's on right now.
It's on right now.
Are you going to watch
even have it on?
Are you going to watch it tonight?
No, I'm not going to watch it tonight.
You're not going to watch it tonight? Oh, it's halftime.
It's 50-39 at halftime.
Oh, my gosh.
Maz's going to run home and watch that.
Oh, my God. Did you see what Dawn Staley said this weekend? See what Dawn Staley said this weekend?
This is for KG.
No, God.
Put up the Dawn Staley interview piece there. Look, what that say?
If we had to do it all over again, she would be in really high consideration of making the team because she's playing head and shoulders above all people. I don't follow this stuff as closely as I should. The only reason that it even registered on my situation here was because Christine Brennan, USA Today columnist,
long time,
CNN, ABC, PBS, NPR, she tweeted out that Dawn Staley interview and said that what a comment this is. Said and wrote it more than a month ago, and we'll say it again. USA basketball snubs of Caitlin Clark was the worst players selection decision I've seen in my 40 years of covering the Olympics. What a mistake. Now
they showed the press room after their last game, and it was like 3/4 empty. Don't tell me that place would not have been standing room
packed.
only
Had
Caitlin Clark been involved in this.
It's good for her.
Yeah, I
She'll
mean,
be there 4 years.
It's definitely interesting, man. It's
In
definitely
4 years, the
interesting.
WNBA might not be what it is right now.
Yeah, actually, in 4 years right now, WNBA is going to be way bigger.
Exactly.
Yeah, 4 years from now,
$2
WNBA is
billion
going to be way.
media deal.
Did you see what Cheryl Miller said about the $2 billion media deal?
It's not enough.
Not enough.
Not enough.
Start with the snowball.
Yeah.
Start with the snowman.
If the NBA is getting 700 million, 76 billion, and you're giving them $2 billion, that's a pretty big
A
discrepancy.
lot of money.
Absolutely.
That's a
Hey,
big discrepancy.
let's end on a high note, okay?
All right.
Tigers and Guardians tonight. Tigers have
Bo Brisky
on the mound, but the Tigers have hold on, I want to get their exact record. Tigers are 52 and 55. 52 wins. They have 52 wins.
Still like 6 games.
They're still
back.
5.5, 6 back.
Right. So they have 162 minus 107. 55 games to go.
Javier Baez has been red hot.
Man,
He will miss this series. He's on the bereavement list. I think something in his family happened. He will not be in this next couple of games.
55 games to go. How many more wins?
After all these trades happen and they get rid of and they gut the team, out of 55, I'll say 25.
25. So that would put them at 25 and 52, 77 and 84.
Yep.
77 and 85.
Sounds about right.
Sounds about right.
Sounds about right.
Guys, what a show today. Absolutely incredible day. We talked a little bit about everything. Had some fun talking Detroit Lions in hour number 1 of the program. Lots of NFL to get to. Braylon will be back tomorrow. Good day. Maz, what are you going to be watching tonight?
I'm not sure. Tonight might be, we'll see some baseball. Little Tigers baseball. We'll see how they do. But I might finish Rocky 3 tonight. Maybe venture around, trying to find a little show to hook up on.
Hey, one of the teams that is a World Series contender that has been quiet today is the New York Yankees.
Yeah. Flaherty would look great in pinch.
What do they got to do?
They got so much to do. They don't have a chance to win the World Series this year with the team that they have.
Yeah.
Although they have the 2 best hitters in baseball.
Right, crazy to say
2
that,
of the
but
top 5.
Why don't they trade for a pitcher?
I don't know if they have anything much to trade. Brian Cashman is they got Jazz Chisholm yesterday from the Marlins. He played.
He ain't gonna help him that much.
He's gonna help a little bit because it's an extra bat. He could steal bases. No one steals on that team.
Yeah.
Gleyber Torres is not happy right now. They might move him from second base, and he wants to just play on second base. I wouldn't mind seeing him come here and restart his career. Who knows? Jack Flaherty in pinstripes? Maybe.
I'd take Gleyber Torres for Jack Flaherty.
I would in a minute.
Absolutely.
I'd take Gavin Lux for him from the Dodgers.
Yeah, I don't like Lux that much, but he's
Don't forget, you could sign Flaherty after the season.
Yeah, that's true. All right, Maz, get us out of here. Say goodbye to the people.
All right, people. Goodbye. Thanks for watching Woodward Sports. Ermanni Edwards,
Good
me,
job.
Matt. Thanks to KG, Pete, and Powerneck. Powerneck's in his last week with us, James.
Powerneck!
We're going to miss him a lot.
My son.
Nick.
But we got a lot more to do tomorrow.
do
Braylon
sound
back.
like
We'll talk about his trip to New York. And Anson will be here as well. He went to a card collecting show this past weekend. So, he's going to bring back some goodies for us.
What's he doing
to take a
tomorrow?
look? He's coming here. Anson?
Yeah.
Anson will be here tomorrow.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Anson will be here tomorrow. You won't.
I'm here tomorrow.
You are?
I think so.
Oh, Anson will be here tomorrow.
Make a phone call.
I love that you're here. Yes.
Anson is a healthy scratch.
Anson,
Anson has been scratched.
Healthy
We'll see.
scratch.
Ryan's going to be here tomorrow.
Anson's here tomorrow.
Anson is going to be
That's right.
scratched.
I love it.
Anson, I'm a healthy scratch. See you Wednesday.
Hey, Chav.